Little Pilgrim's Progress, Part 2, Chapter 59, Arrest by the Cross. Before the day became hot, the pilgrims came to the cross, and there Greatheart allowed them to rest. They all sat down upon the grass, and he told them how little Christian's burden had fallen from his shoulders at this very place. Then Christiana began to question him about the good prince and all that he had done for his servants. Greatheart loved the good prince and was very willing to talk about him. So the minutes slipped quickly away, and the children felt almost sorry to leave their quiet resting place. Not very far from the cross, they saw a sad sight. Do you remember how little Christian tried to awaken the three foolish otters who were lying on the grass by the wayside, with their feet bound in iron fetters? You know that they would not listen to him, and he was obliged to leave them. After a time they did wake up, but they never tried to undo their fetters, for they had no wish to continue their journey. All day long they sat idly by the road, doing everything they could to hinder the king's pilgrims by talking to them and trying to persuade them to forsake the right path. At last they did so much mischief that the king would have patience with them no longer, and their lives became forfeit. Their bodies remained in their chains, and pilgrims passing by saw them and took warning from their dreadful fate. Greatheart did not allow little Innocence to look at the bodies, because she was too young to understand how disobedient the three otters had been. But the other children saw them and asked what they had done. Greatheart told them the whole sad story, and Christiana said, "I am glad they did not turn little Christian out of the way." "So am I," said Mercy, "and I think it was a good thing that they were punished. If not, and we had been obliged to make our pilgrimage alone, they might have hurt or frightened us very much." The road now brought the children to the foot of the hill of difficulty, and there Greatheart showed them the two paths that the wicked prince had made, one leading into the woods and the other into the dark mountains. "Formalists and hypocrisy were lost here," said he, "at the time when little Christian climbed the hill. Since then the king has sent servants to put posts and chains across the paths, so that his pilgrims may know they are not safe. But many pilgrims are so foolish that they take no notice of the chains and try the paths because they look so easy, and then they are lost. Just at the foot of the hill, and close to the way of the king, there was a little spring of pure water. Greatheart pointed it out to the children, who were thirsty after walking in the sun. The water flowed into a tiny pool, and when Christian had passed by this pool, it was as clear as crystal. But some of the wicked prince's servants, who were seeking for mischief to do, had found the spring, and they thought it would be a great thing to poison it and make it unfit for the king's pilgrims to drink from. So they trampled down the edges of the pool until the earth fell into the water and made it too muddy for anyone to drink. They did this whenever they passed that way, and when Greatheart brought his little band of pilgrims to the spring, he found it in a sad state. But Christiana had packed a little cup in the bag that the boys were carrying, and Greatheart told them to fill the cup with water and let it stand for a few moments. Then the sand and soil sank to the bottom, and the water was left clear and bright. So they all drank of it and were much refreshed.